Hey everybody, thanks for tuning back in. My name's Lee, Crypto Mainly. Thank you ever so much, guys, for your likes and subscribes and everything like that. Just want to show you we're up to 90 subscribers now, which is great. We only started the channel on the 20th, and we're up to 90 subscribers already. Analytics, 540 views in the last 28 days, which of course is actually only in the last 10 days because we started it on the 20th. Watch time, 43 hours. Wow, I mean that's just incredible. It's 43 hours of other people's time and taken out of their lives to watch my content. It does mean a lot to me. It really does. It's sincerely, people taking that time out of their day to watch and engage, like and subscribe, and all those things. I really appreciate it. So just a quick thank you for that. And moving swiftly into the content, got lots to talk about today. Okay, so this is the scribbly chart which I talked to you about. See, this is my trading chart. I trade this every day, so do please forgive me that it does get very busy and things. But of course, in terms of consistency's sake, I like to refer back to the same chart that we've put in previous videos so that you can see how things are evolving. We were paying particular attention to the breakout here in relation to these breakouts here. So it's come out up to this resistance line in the past. This one in particular is of interest, as you can see. The price has broken through resistance and then come back down and come back up and had another go at breaking through successfully and failed. And obviously you've got this huge rejection here. So this is a keen area of interest. I'm keeping a very close eye on this, very close eye indeed. Some feedback that I've been getting actually just made me realise that I need to be very, very clear about the way that I describe things in the channel, because some people are taking it as gospel and asking me questions which are suggesting that I'm actually taking immediate and immediate action on what I'm saying. So to give you an example, this move at the top here, this one here, if we actually measure that in terms of the duration of how long that took, the price stayed in that range before breaking down for 4 days. So you can imagine that whilst we were, we had a little bit of a correction here, but whilst we were in that 4 or 5 day range there, the altcoins would have been doing quite well, possibly. So, there is that to consider. If I'm talking about prices coming down, it doesn't mean instantly sell everything that you've got, and and move out of the market. And in fact, don't listen to anything I say. This isn't financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just an experienced trader, and I've learned my skills through the school of hard knocks, shall we say, along the way. And I am an experienced and professional trader personally, but that's not to say that that I advise you to take any of my content as financial advice for yourself. You need to make your own decisions about what you do with your money, and this is really just for just trading entertainment purposes. Hopefully, just pick up some tips and things along the way. To refine your own trading skills or your own trading ability, and you find the content, more importantly for me, is that you find the content interesting and enjoyable, and not that it costs you an absolute fortune because you take a decision based on what I've told you, and the market turns the other way, and that can have a dramatic effect, of course, for you. So please be careful, guys. The trading is very high risk. Technical analysis is one thing, as we've said before, time and time again. But there are also big forces at play here in terms of world markets, traditional markets, big institutional players coming in. And it only takes one of those guys, in fact, to just make a huge market trade in either direction in Bitcoin, and it will affect the entire market. So always bear that in mind, and also always bear in mind that those market makers and institutions, the big exchanges, will be looking at these patterns as well. And they, on occasion, when it suits them, if the benefit to them is worth the buying the stops for the longs or buying the stops for the shorts by placing a huge order, they will do that to create those liquidations, which of course then provides liquidity to the market, which of course is something that the market needs to move higher. But unfortunately, if you fall foul of the wrong direction of one of the institutional players plays, shall we say, then that's going to leave you not in a place that you want to be. So just moving on to the larger time frames here, we've spoken about this in the last couple of videos in the day, so I'm not going to go over it too much again because it seems like it's just repetitive. But it's interesting to see when we draw the fib here from this low actually to the high. So the start of this this like impulse move, if you like, from the low to the high, the 61.8 is it is at this neckline or this supporting area here. If we go back into here, we talked about the possibility of what's going to happen here, coming up to the channel, maybe rejecting. I was speaking to somebody else earlier today who thought that maybe we could even see a bump and run pattern where this is, this descending resistance actually turns into, we have this consolidation zone here, we break out, and then we come back down, and we don't quite go down so far, but actually have a bump and run type scenario here where we're off to the races from the the bounce from the retest of this support again, and we don't go too far back down. So yeah, I mean, I've got my suspicions. I think that this correction that's coming is going to be a huge one. It's going to come all the way back down to 61.8 at the least, and probably the 78.6. So the 61.8 is at 41,630. So say 41,600 for round numbers, and the 78.6 is at 39,850. That I think is going to be the area that the price comes back down to. Different analysis, different opinion, and it's always nice to thrash things out with somebody else that you respect, and put your ideas and your heads together. So it was interesting there. Just as we've been talking about this for the last couple of days, but just we're talking about this rejection point. If we just zoom into that rejection point for a moment, you can see we've got this bearish candle, which I mentioned in the video previously. This candle then backfilled the high of this candle for this trading volume, so that's normal to see a backfill, and then obviously the continuation of the actual move which is coming. So that's quite interesting. Obviously we've got the makings of a first red candle already. Just going on to this chart, we looked at this one as well. I'm not going to go too much into detail again about this because obviously I did cover this in the last couple of days. But it's interesting to see again from the low here. So this recent low up to the high, you can see that the 78.6 is the lower part of this trend line, which is just a different way of looking at it from this chart, really. But let's just see if we can get that. So it's just a different way of looking at it from there. But again, guys, as I've said in the videos previously, and I do want to just make this clear because I don't want anybody to misinterpret or misunderstand what I'm saying here. These, when RSI is into the bullish control zone, which means that this red dotted line that I've put in red here to make it clear for you, above 70%, on this is a daily time frame. Okay, so daily time frame. Every time that the price has either come up to the red dotted line or has been in the red dotted line, you can see that has resulted in the peaks of every corrective move all the way going back to the 9th of January 2021. So we're now in the 30th of March 2022, so over a year of price action, and you can see that every single time that the price has either gone into that the RSI has either gone into the bullish control zone, or it's come up to the bullish control zone and tested it, like here, where it's come up to the red and it hasn't actually broken into the bullish control zone. You can see it's rejecting. But again, that's a corrective move here. We've measured these moves out before, guys. I'm not going to do it again, but we're talking about 25 to 35% corrections all the way up here. And as I said yesterday, I just want to make it very clear, this is a daily time frame, so it can take time to play out. It's not necessarily going to be an instant thing. But having said that, you can see already, if we just go look into this, let me just zoom in here because I thought this was interesting already. If we actually take a close look at that, the RSI is actually having a job and starting to roll over and not break into the bullish control zone, which may be significant. We're still trading this, the current day, but again, we zoom in on a close look for the price action. We've got the rejection, we've got the rolling over type scenario going on here as well. So lots can happen. What Bitcoin's like; it can just turn around. Big investors can, especially with a geopolitical situation like it is, it could be that institutional and even sort of continental money is going to be coming into the market. So if that does happen, of course, everything will change. There's no point. Technical analysis is just about measuring the possibilities and probabilities of what's happened in the past and trying to give yourself an edge on what you think will happen in the future. But bear in mind that every technical indicator that's around, every single one, is only an indication based on past historic price action, and it will not give you, it will help you give you an edge in terms of what's happened historically as to what's happened next. But as any financial markets, if you go into any kind of trading or exchange account and you try and set up a new account, it will say at the beginning, past performance is not an indication of future performance, etc., etc. And that's the reason why the indicators are only measuring what's already happened. You're basing what's going to happen next on what's already happened, which, when you put it like that, it actually doesn't make quite so much sense to do that. Hence the reason risk management is so important. I'm just going to look at dominance, Bitcoin dominance. We spoke about this before. If we, on the videos again, if we go in, you'll see. I was expecting, a move to the top of this resistance and move back down, and obviously then possibly even a bounce up to this this trend line here, which has been going on for a long time. If we look at so I've lost my thread of thought there, and I can't remember what I was going to show you there. So sorry. I'll if I remember it, I'll try and edit it back in. I can't remember what we're going to say there, but you get the idea that, we've been talking about this pattern for a long time in my trading group. You've got these, this is something which I was projecting all the way back here. So from around the sort of this pattern sort of time, so that was August time. We were looking at this potential rising channel. Obviously the breakdown, which was the measured move, would be the bottom of the rising wedge, which of course is something we were looking at in my group. And then obviously this one here, you've got the same rejection, and here we go again. And I think we're going to get the other rejection again. If you look at RSI, there is a bearish divergence on the RSI. If you look at this as well, but in terms of from this point of view, if you were just trading this, if you were forgetting that this was dominance, and you were just looking at this based on what you can see on the screen there, you would look at this as as a descending triangle. So you get the idea. So you'd be looking at this as a descending triangle, and if that is the case, then that would be a bearish pattern. This would normally be, if we forget the fact this is dominance for a moment, if this was just a normal coin, we'd be looking at this as a distribution phase, and that you've got a flat bottom, a descending triangle. The price is going to come down, and when it tests this for the 1, 2, 3, well, you say 3, 4, this is going to be the 5th time that this lower region of around the sort of 39% mark is tested. And if that breaks, the measured move of this triangle is the back end of the open end of the triangle. So you can see that purple arrow that's there, and I've just copied it, cloned it, and put it down here for you. And you can see that if this happens, and this is what I've been talking about for a few days now, is that if this happens, then the alt season that's coming is going to be an absolutely fantastic one. Hold on, stand by for action, because this is going to be absolutely fantastic. And there's nothing to say that it will stop there. It may even go even deeper than that. So, and this is the reason that I've been saying about the alt season, which is coming. The alt season, I think, is going to be really nice. It's going to be a lovely summer. Bounds. Seasonally, most companies, whether it be cryptocurrency or selling toilet rolls, or I don't know, just any kind of company that you can think of, in the summer months, generally, because everybody's happy, businesses do better. So whatever the industry, if you look at sort of analytics from traditional sort of businesses and what have you, because everybody's in a good mood in the summer, and everybody's spending money because they're in a good mood, everybody's sort of happier, car sales, all those things, anything to do with technology, a lot of market launches for new products, for from some of the like mobile phones and things like that. Generally speaking, it's a good time of year for any industry. So I can see that ties up with us having. Firstly, we're going to get this correction out of the way, which hopefully we can get that out of the way, and then move on from it quite quickly. Once we've established the bounce wherever that's going to be from support here, or we get a bit lower, or even very deep, I think if we get down here, then it will take longer to recover. But I think the alt season that's coming is going to be really nice. That's supported by the Ethereum chart. It's also supported by the Ethereum Bitcoin chart. So, and we'll have a look at those another time. So, I'm excited about things to come. So what I'm trying to explain to you is if I'm telling, over the last couple of days, I was painted a bit of a bearish picture. You just bear in mind that, if this price does roll over, if the Bitcoin dominance starts to roll over as the price rolls over as well, then what that could mean is that the money that's been made, the profits that have been made in Bitcoin from traders, from from this move here, the profits that have been made on the way up here will if the Bitcoin dominance is reduced, so the amount of the total market cap which is actually accounted for by Bitcoin, if that is starting to be reduced whilst the price is starting to come down, then what that could mean is that the money that's profits that are made here are actually flowing out of Bitcoin and into the altcoins. So there's a lot to think about, and I'll keep you posted along the way, of course. So keep your eye out. Please like and subscribe. Press the bell for notifications, and I'll make sure that I try and keep you as updated as I can. I will start to be doing live streams as well. If I see something dramatic happening, I will pop on a live stream and give you very quick updates. And I'll have an interactive chat and things like that, so you can ask me questions directly and that type of thing in the future. So please don't miss that. Like and subscribe, and we'll keep in contact, and I'll try and help you and protect you along the way. The chart for the day is SAND. So this is Sandbox. Obviously, I'm sure you've all heard of Sandbox. It's a metaverse token. It's one of the, there's huge industries, institutional companies buying land and property and actually launching their real world brands into the metaverse. So a lot of people, a lot of publicity around this particular coin. Don't hear very many stories about very positive stories about the virus that's been, should we call it, we're not allowed to say the actual word, but you know what I'm talking about, like the virus situation that we've just experienced worldwide. Just a nice story, which I'm not sure you hear too many nice stories. I lost a couple of very good friends and my uncle actually to corona. Oops, I'll have to edit that out. But if you look on the chart here, I've just marked this vertical line because this was the point where in my trading group we were trading down the bottom here, with a projected move from the breakout of about 113%, which was great. We got the move, and I was actually just chasing the move with a stop loss, and just on this vertical bar here, I actually was taken ill and was in hospital, and kind of lost focus with everything to do with most things in life, and put things into perspective as to the future of things and what I wanted to do. But the nice part of the story, as I'll get to the point, is that when I came out of hospital, you can see that my projection of 100% move by the time I'd come out of hospital was, I'd 12x the trade position size, which was absolutely fantastic. That was rather a nice thing to find when I came out of hospital. So anyway, moving on swiftly, it's enough about me. You can see you've got this nicely formed wedge pattern here. We've broken out from the wedge pattern. We've broken the neckline of the high here, so that the dotted line there represents the neckline. So we've broken out. We've bounced along the resistance, trying to break through and absorb that price, which we have done. We've got a little bit of an emming sort of pattern, topping sort of pattern here. So I think we might come back down, actually looking at this on a closer level. But in terms of what we're going to do, the price targets for this one is just from the dotted line. I've drawn the fib there. We're looking at the first target is the 38.2 level there, which is at the $4.82 mark. The next target will be the 0.5 Fibonacci, which is at $5.52. And the next target from there is going to be the 61.8, which is this one here, and the price there is $6.22. And nothing to say that it'll stop there. This may well continue on, and I think, in fact, if you're looking for a long-term hodl coin, then this would be one for the hodl bag, shall we say. It's certainly in my hodl bag. So don't be surprised if it doesn't stop there. But I mean, even if we grab up to the 9.5 or the 61.8, you're looking at a projected profit here without leverage of sort of between 60 and 80% from where we are now. So just people, I don't want people to just think, just because I've said that, just to go out and just throw your entire life savings into something's into a ridiculous trade, because things are going to happen, and prices will ebb and flow. And if Bitcoin rolls over and takes a catastrophic move that none of us are expecting, which is possible, and by that I mean we come down all the way to the 39,650 mark. We then get everybody sort of capitulating if we break through this support, and then there's like an accelerated move to the downside, which could happen. I mean, if that does happen, then you've got a bearish projection of somewhere between, I'd say, 22 and 24. I would say on that. But so 22 to 24,000. If that happens, and of course, everything changes. But so for example, I've had a couple of direct messages saying, "Oh, no, you told us everything's going to be bearish, and nothing's been bearish. The price is staying the same. It's all trending sideways. All the altcoins are just carrying on, taking off, and I've exited loads of positions, or I've entered a lot of positions based on what you've said over the last couple of days. I mean, that's all well and good, but I mean, if we just add, let me just show you, if we add the Bitcoin chart onto this one, it's clear to see the correlation. The blue, the turquoise color is the Bitcoin price, and you can see there is a clear correlation between what happens with Bitcoin and what happens with price action on an altcoin. Now, why am I mentioning this? Well, just to put this into perspective. Just bear in mind that the correlation between this price action and the way that the price has been moving on this particular coin, even though Sandbox was one of the most popular coins, had a lot of hype, you'd expect it to decouple from Bitcoin and actually do its own thing. Well, if you look back here and you look back to November time, not necessarily has it been doing its own thing. So let me just show you why I'm showing you that. So just bear this in mind. So just what I'm going to do, if we'll talk about this point here. Okay, and if I go to the date range, we're looking at around about the 9th of February. So if we go to the daily chart and we go to the 9th of February, which is there. So I've drawn a dotted line there, and we look at the low. Okay, so let me just get rid of this. Sorry, let me just get rid of the Bitcoin off of this chart. So, and we're going to look at this point here. So this top peak is at the 9th of February. The low, if you like, is 24th of February. If we go back to here, so we've got the 9th of February to the 24th of February. So let me just zoom in here. Ninth of February is marked in purple at the bottom there, so it's that vertical line, which we can't see very well. Let me just change that for you so you can see what I'm talking about. So we've got, oh, that's a bit too much. We've got a dotted line there, and the low is the 24th of February, which is this line here. Okay, so if we just take a measurement, this is the Bitcoin price. Bear that in mind, and we're going to go from the peaks, if you like, of the highs of the wick all the way down to the lows, which in fact the lows all the way down there. So that's a 25% move in Bitcoin over the course of that period. So bear that in mind. That's obviously significant for Bitcoin. That's quite a large move. But just bear that number in mind. 25% correction in Bitcoin. If we look at the SAND chart, bear in mind the amount of hype and the amount of interest in this coin, and the amount that you probably would be expecting it to do its own thing and decouple based on the institutional investment that's pouring into this coin. That 25% move here in Bitcoin, the same period of time, equates to a 45% correction in one of the most successful new projects, shall we say, that's been launched of recent times. Just bear that in mind for a little while, guys. I just want to show you one more chart, and then I'm going to get off and stop talking. C98. Just so that can see, guys, we had a nice breakout from the bottom. My trading groups hit the target there. So in 10 days, 24% profit in 10 days with no leverage. And the reason I'm showing you this now is once this coin will probably roll over now and come back down to the neckline here. And once it does, I'll be looking at re-entering that a position again. And I'll be sharing that with you with the projections of targets and things. So look out for that in the future. There's nice potential for this particular project, and obviously this is another new project which has taken an absolute hammering since obviously the Bitcoin started in November to roll over, as you'll know, and obviously it's affected the whole market. But this has taken on absolute hiding. But if you look into this project C98 and look at the potential of what that will hold in the future, I think this is going to be a coin to watch out for and keep your eyes open. But I'll give you analysis with targets and things. Perhaps in tomorrow's video, we'll see what happens with the market over the night. I may change the coin for tomorrow, but possibly this one. But I'll give you at least one altcoin trade position for tomorrow, and I look forward to doing that. And once again, please like and subscribe, and I really appreciate you doing that. Just click the like button or the dislike button if you dislike. At least you give me some interaction, and I can get an idea of whether it's good or bad. But thanks, guys. I really, honestly do appreciate it, and I'm really looking forward to it. I feel excited every day. I enjoy making the videos, and I know that based on my experience, that I'll be able to share something of the least interest, and I'd maybe even make some money along the way. Take care, guys. I really appreciate it. All the best. Don't forget, take profit, buy something real. All the best, guys.